All right, this is my COVID-19 demo number 5, I guess. Post number 5. And today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to do one of my little COVID-19 portraits of sorts. And this time I've cheated like crazy and primed this old cool plank of redwood and hit it with acrylic because like the lacquer applies differently. I need a base. I don't want to waste a ton of paint, blah blah blah. It's expensive. So I'm gonna get going. So I based it and I'm armed with lots of new nail polishes. And this thing's like abstract, right? In a sense, and it looks like a totally 20th century abstract composition. So yeah, I'm gonna do pores and stuff, and it's gonna be much more fluid, direct thing than that portrait thing. Let's see what kind of colors I got here, what's going on. All right, let's start with this guy, and other brushes and what have you. And neat. All right, so fill out our little blobby corona orb. And like hence, and the whole cool thing is like paint's gonna dry quite nicely too, and this is nice and thick, so it's really gonna take its sweet time. And oddly, with all this fog on the bottom of this cannon, it really affects the lacquer, and it totally dries differently than you would think. So anyway, there's that. I don't think it likes like water, like moisture whatsoever, and that's because it's, not a water-based paint. So that totally makes sense, but you wouldn't think like the fog would affect it that much, but it totally does. Oh God, is the end of that guy already? Okay, I'll try and get some more out of that sucker. And yeah. Anybody got backup nail lacquer around? Send it my way. Alright. So this is going to require some editing, I can see that. But it's going to be cool to see the whole fluid thing. So I don't know if I could talk like that Bob Ross guy throughout the whole process, but we shall try it. Ooh, this one's even in the same ballpark. Wow. Alright, I gotta stretch this out a bit here. The fun thing is, like, once you get this in, then I get to do all the other good stuff, which is like delineating somewhat what, like, evidently this virus looks like mutating under, what do you call it, an electron microscope. But yeah, those guys to see things, man, they just colorize it like crazy, which is really funny. But it gives you some good ideas, jumping off points. Ooh, that's some nice mutating blob. Okay, we'll take another one. Is this like what, Adolf Gottlieb style? Not even. On Frankenthaler, not even. But you get the idea. Drip some blobs, things existing on their own. For all you guys new to this was once upon a time called non-objective painting. Although this time, ironically, I am basing it on something objective, which is kind of amusing. Things change, but so does language. Language is very, very, very fluid. Alright. Okay, come on, puppy. See, now after this, I get to do this, like, literal corona around these things of this yellow band. That's going to look really cool. And, yeah, if you do these abstract thingies right, it's got to be like one touch, one off, done kind of thing. And if you keep doctoring them up forever, they generally look like crap. You kill the life. You need the spontaneity of the touch and the brush stroke, you know, of whoever the artist happens to be. In this case, it's moi. Now I gotta find some more yellow. That's good. See, all these things sitting out here all night are gonna be really freaking cold. But they're better colors. I'll warm them up quick. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, neat. No way. Oh, shoot. I should have them in my pocket. Okay, so yellow, yellow, purple. Yeah, we're gonna get a lot of plum colors going on here. And once again, if anybody cares, excuse me, the reason I'm using these nail polish is not to be kitsch or anything, even though it has that element, but it's because the quality of the paint is freaking amazing, and you can't get it in normal colors, and it's lacquer, and lacquer you can't even get in California unless you're a graffiti artist and use spray can art. God darn, this one stinks. Shoot, so that has something. I love using the lacquer because it's just a beautiful quality paint and it's unique, you know, nobody else is doing it. I like that. But more than that, just as like art, and I love materials. My work has always been material driven, you know. I love surface, texture, brush strokes. Here's a nice buttery one. And so I always like to explore like different materials, or like super thick paint, lean paint, you know, transparencies, collages, putting crap on surfaces like crazy, like literally like in relief. So I have always been materially driven. I used to think I could do like, what do you call it? Ceramics. I'd be a big like Pete Volkus styly ceramicist, but I don't know, I never really took to it at that level, because I don't know, there's something about paint. I love paint, even though, you know, it's kind of like, I guess, somewhat getting to be an obsolete medium these days. Like, nobody gives a rat's ass, but that's okay. I do. Gotta sit down here, break my back, being ancient. Sorry, I haven't had like my makeup artist show up this morning. Not used to these things without a stylist. No, just kidding, but I desperately need a stylist. All right. Oh God, this stuff starts stinking, man. I gotta put my mask on. But again, that's why I'm working outside, or one reason. And hopefully I'm gonna take this to a certain level before it starts raining, and I gotta relocate in the shed, and then I'll have to pause the video and actually learn how to edit, or have my 11-year-old teach me how to piece it together. She's really good though. I mean, all right. This is like completely the wrong color. I'm realizing it just looks freaking hideous. Well, that's the thing about art, you know, and especially abstract art. It's like, you know, I kind of started with a general idea, but in a sense, it's a process. But in my belief, all art is process art, even conceptual art. And we can discuss that like forever and ever. But anyway, I totally think that color freaking stinks. Can't stand it. But as I was saying, it's a process and layers, and the cool thing about abstract art is like every gesture counts, everything builds up. So therefore, like, there's no mistakes. One thing builds upon the other, and even if this is concealed entirely, like, it will leave brush strokes and stuff, so everything leaves an historical mark. And I think that's a very appealing thing about art, and abstract art and process art in particular, and like documenting a life. And I think that's really neat, and I really have to learn how to stop saying and it's even driving me crazy. Must be worse to even listen to. Fortunately, most of the time I don't even listen to these things, so I don't have to torture myself with what I sound like. No, but it is funny. You sound different to yourself than you do to other people because, like, you're hearing through your bone or something, or through your jaw and not actually through your ear. Anyway. Alright, so, like, I'm fleshing out the so-called corona, which is actually, it is a corona. And, here I go again. And I'm going to do those weird feathery things. And I got to get my computer going on again because I can't see what I'm referencing here. And then, yeah, I will be layering other crap upon this thing because I do not care for this color, but I needed a base anyway, so it's just fine. As I said, it's a process. Every gesture matters, and there's a little here that's going to remain on the top surface, except maybe for that pink, which came out really nice. All right. Okay, let me see what's going on here. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Hello. There we go. Wake up. Come on, computer. Wakey, wakey. Okay. No, really wake up. Oh my God. Oh, fucking hell. Alright. This is weird. Okay. Anyway, just like everything in life, it's all made up, so I'm just using this as a base, but like, okay, here we go. This color. Oh my God. I need colors coming in. Coming in strong. Yeet. This one, I got one that's good. But they're too cold. This thing. Oh wow, here's a good one. Yeah. Woohoo, brand new. This is what we like. Come on. Yeah, I'm kind of like rushing it because the whole thing about this is like it has to be fluid and you're feeling it and you're flowing. It's like bam, boom, and 100% has a hit and miss color. Yay! That's what I'm talking about. We want that color. And see, though, it does work nicely with the thing beneath it. And they layer up nicely. And it'll give a good texture and lend some bright spots to it, little highlight image moments. So, like, that's what I love about process art. And anyway, the reason I said, like, even conceptual art, I think it's process art, because everything goes through a developmental stage, and even, like, just thinkers, and they just don't, like, come up with their idea. You know, they're usually modified, refined, honed in, so, like, they can be articulated really, really super clearly and concisely. Right, so anyway, this whole quarantine thing's funny because, like, in many ways, I think many artists, like, are already living like that because they're already doing their thing on their own. They're already inventing ways to make livings on their own at home or at their work-live spaces or whatever the heck they're in. Most artists, like, live in lofts or whatever. Well, not necessarily, but everybody did when I was in New York, anyway. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be a lot nicer. Right, so I've recently learned about, like, you know how you can get, like, a lot of mileage just out of doing one little hack sometimes, and that top coat, man, gave just so much body and gloss to that other experimental portrait thing, and I just thought, oh my God, that's hilarious. It's like a resin coat, but it kind of like punches up everything, and it really looks great on women's fingernails. And dare I go again. And I want to employ that more in my paintings, because often I like just this natural touch, like how does the paint dry, but like putting this varnish on it, it's like cheating, or you're just like enhancing the whole thing. I mean, you don't want it to look like some round table pizza table cover top, with all that resin and shit poured all over it, and little coasters in the resin. On the other hand, if it looks cool, why not? Alright, so I got one more of the evil blobs over here. So yeah, and everything like dictates the mark and everything. Like if I had poured this in a dish and used a bigger brush, and like how I zip around the thing would be articulated differently and has like a whole different character and personality. But also as an artist, you just kind of do what's at hand and want to be like intuitive, although some people would say, charge you with, that's so impulsive or whatever. But you do want to get a flow going, and artists like to get, or I do, I don't know, I don't want to speak for all artists, but often artists like to get lost in another world as they're working, or they get very absorbed in their work, let's say, or like a writer, musician, composer, poet would, what have you. Actors, they get lost in their roles. So when you're making art, I think that's a real goal. Just to get lost in another world. I mean, you got a big time out from all the other BS in life, and you don't have to be harassed by anything, and you get to, what do you call it? Call all the shots. And it's fun, because what other arena can you call all the shots in if it's not your own work of art? So it's gives you a great element, component of freedom, in my humble opinion. Okay, now I'm gonna get these little feathery things in there, and I wanted like some kind of plummy ass color. Let's see what I got going here. Why do I have all these in my pocket that are completely wrong? Okay. Right. So these things have these like feathery, tendrily guys that kind of jump out at you, I guess, and that's how they connect to other of these little stupid horrible bugs. So that's what I'm gonna be doing here for a bit, trying to get this feeling going of these gnarly tendrils, and I might just stop talking for a little bit. Just like, and other things driving me batty. Right. Not sure where I'm going with this, but such is the abstract nature of process work. And there I go again, and and I will actually be having like palette changes and what have you. Might pause this cut. Really? Yep. What next? Darker. I need darker. I got no darker. So, fuck. That's all I got now. Okay. I'll work with this. Okay. Now, punch it up. Oh, what the fuck? Skip that down there. Whew. This is so intense to smell. Nice. It's like one of my skateboard pieces. fumes, toxic COVID freaking 19 in my face, yo. Punch it down. Oh, I'm using some grays. I got the wrong colors here. Okay. Oh, fuck. No, it looks like a pile of poo, but it's fun to do. We'll see what comes of it. Majorly adolescent here. Take many incarnations, but it could be also flowing. Shoot, that other color didn't open. It's so annoying. Ooh. 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 That ain't be too Christmassy. Oh, fuck that. Oh, fuck, I'm hungry. Oh, that's not too exciting. This context. Oh yeah, now I want to punch it up with some yellows. I think I will. Yeah. See, now you bring that bottom yellow back and it might have a little interest and it weaves it together texturally, like formally, coloristically, but just like little moments, so that's nice. looking like a gem. Both. All right, taking a little break here.